How long have you guys been doing this different chorus thing?
I don't know really. Seth, do you know?
We didn't stick with the name Different Corners for since we were not too old, so I don't know. You'd have to ask probably my mother.
Hello? Tell you what. Can you hear me? Do you know where you are? Do you know where you are? No. Where are you? Do you know where you are? Do you know where you are?
Never thought it. An accident. Indians scattered all over Snell Highway.
And there was an accident on Crucifix Corners. It had to have been at least the 13th accident that summer, and right across from Mr. Chicken. And just bodies everywhere, and just ran into this dude.
That dude from the kid. Curly hair. Just standing there. I said, hey kid, you wanna go drink a beer?
He said he had a sixer over in the woods, and accidents, especially accidents involving dead Indians, just really bummed me out. So I was looking for some kind of escape.
And that's how Different Corners is formed.
Well, it was me and my brother Steve Skrull were on our way to go get our roller coaster on at the amusement park, and it was way out in the country. So we're driving all through the country, and we come across this corn patch, and Steve Skrull had these big old teeth, and so he was eating the corn, chomping like chomping away at it, and and then I said, how's that corn? And then I knew it was going to be Different Corners, And as soon as I got home, I let Pierre know about it, and he thought it was a good idea, so we stuck with it. We'd be tripping on acid at Morrison Park, writing songs. It's the summer of 94, 93. It's all a blur. Coming up with variations of the songs that would end up being most of the first album material. We'd always get our acid from Randy Reynolds. He used to tell us how he would take the paper and he'd roll it up with his tongue. He had an empty tooth. I guess the filling had fallen out, and he'd stuff the paper in the tooth, They said that was the key to a good trip. So, you know, it wasn't too long that we graduated from banana peels to acid.
No, I think it was our first show. And it was Tribute to Pink Show. It was me and Seth, way before Different Corners.
Yeah, well, we had this practice spot that we shared with this other band, Prune Jive, and you know, these were the early 90s. Everyone was experimenting heavily with LSD, and you know, ourselves included. So we were tripping pretty hard, and it occurred to us that we had access to a whole lot of paint.
Paint was moving on the shores.
Started spreading the paint around in the hallways, on the walls. And in the paint we had visions, and we turned those visions into a musical explosion that evening that definitely changed us, probably changed us for the worse.
And the walls were breathing, and life was in the music. And we got kicked out, and we were never allowed to play there again. You know, in the beginning, I didn't think there was much structure. It was just, you know, playing E for an hour. Makes some cool noises go along with it. Then it just slowly became more structured. Where, led us to the remake Cat's Crazy album.
We've actually taken the time to study, you know, we've had actual studies conducted of, you know, our music and its exposure to cats, and it affects them in peculiar ways. And, you know, by day 3, most of the cats were completely insane, you know. Now it took another, what was the longest? It was the longest one that one cat lasted.
Oh, he lasted like 4.5 days.
4.5. He was nice.
Yeah.
We didn't name him Felix. That was his name, wasn't it?
He was good.
He was a good cat. I think he enjoyed the music to death. You know?
Yes.
I think he enjoyed it to death.
Yeah, I'm sorry to see him go.
It's still a classic album. We make Cats Crazy. Firefly still hit ringing numbers, you know. I still get royalty checks every month.
I fucking hate Firefly. You know, it was just some shit. As far as I'm concerned, it's horseshit. You know, I hate fucking firefighters. I hate 9/11. I hate the fact that we were asked to put out a tribute song, and what it was trying to be was an anti-tribute song that got taken the wrong way. It's like a bad joke that got out of hand.
9/11 just happened, so, you know, everybody was all about the firemen. So this is a song we dedicated to the firemen.
Well, what a lot of people don't know is that, you know, when I sing the lyric in Firefly, I've got these records to remind me of you. You know, I was talking about criminal records.
When I was introducing myself to Firefly, saying I'm Pierre and I'm here to rock. Come from the trailer park, don't fuck with me. You know, ghettos come in all shapes and sizes. Don't bring the ghetto out to me. This ghetto will get smaller if you come up with me. This is actually the guitar that was used for We Make Cats Crazy. The main guitar throughout the whole album. There's a couple other guitars that were on it, but this one was just the workhorse. The one that made all the magic happen. If I wouldn't have had this guitar, I don't think there would have been a second Korn album. Well, it started off as called The Devil's Beehive, but I didn't really like that. I thought it implied Satanism and desperation, exhilaration, quadruplation. You name it, it was there.
Well, Pierre came up with the Devil's Beehive pretty much off the top of his head, top of his drunk head. This is back when he was heavy into the vodka. And we were sharing the house in Ohio City, and he had one of those fucking Chevy Brook hood rats in his room. And I didn't know it, and anyhow he was walking across the hall, drained the lizard, and I said, "What are you up to, man?" He said, "I'm finna put the pitchfork in the Devil's Beehive." And I don't think he remembered saying it, but I wrote it down, and the next session we had, I used it as a lyric that eventually turned into Firefly from the Devil's Beehive.
Horse is a different color. Man, this song is just powerful. So many levels. The structure, the words. That's true rock and roll.
Well, We Make Cats Crazy, the LP, was a compilation actually of different cassettes that we were putting out at the time. There was the Billy Joel cassette, the Firefly, original Firefly demo, a lot of stuff from this one right here, this live EP. Looks like we were doing most of this stuff in July and August. But that's when we came up with these Assassins and wrote some of the
We still had jobs, you know. We weren't even like rock stars or anything. And I remember I was out of work and Seth was working, and he was working second shift, so I'd go around town doing my thing until he would get off work, and you know, we'd be recording all night long. And you know, in the middle of the night is when you get your best material.
I got a call that Pierre was in trouble. They said that he had had too much to drink. So I went to his, I knew exactly where to find him. Went over to Amy Dotson's apartment. There he was in the bathtub, just puking and gurgling. He had stripped down all his clothes. I don't know what he was doing before that. But, and me and Steve Skirl, Sean Dimitri, Paul Farrar, we had to pick him up out of the bathtub and get his clothes on him. And, we called for his manager, Mimi, to come try to clear up the issue, but I think he ended up getting fired.
I did a lot of drugs in my time.
Guy was out of control, Pierre was always a maniac. But I had him over for Thanksgiving. He ended up throwing the goddamn turkey on the floor, talking about the duck is dead, kicking it. You know, Paul Farrar, Steve Skrull had to hold him down. He was taking all kinds of psych meds and shit that he didn't even need at the time. Maybe he did, you know.
You know, Live at Edgewater Park was a 3-day event, which was only supposed to be a 2-hour event. It was advertised free concert, Edgewater Park.
The Edgewater Park tour was, it was a lot of stress on us. We'd set up every night, sometimes doing 2 sets, basically do a bunch of, you know, tourists and Puerto Ricans.
There were so many people filling the park that they all just camped. You know, for 3 days. And we went out every day and played a set for our fans.
You know, depending on the audience, sometimes people would listen. A lot of times we were just, you know, competing with, you know, a volleyball game and various preachers.
You can still see where the stage was. Like I said, we were the first and last ones to do a show here. It was very sad day. You know, me and Seth were able to get to safety. But, you know, our fellow man wasn't quite able to do the same. All the way up to the riots, it was a lot of fun. And then, you know, they bum rushed the stage and hundreds of people died. Everything was destroyed that night. We didn't play again 10 years. Edgewater Park Tour is when we discovered the horse of a different color for real. I was riding that horse and things just got messier and messier until we just couldn't cope anymore. Seth found religion, I found the gutter. Moved back to Chevy Brook. Disappeared for a while. All in all, I can say that it's a different time.
This guy can kill you with the back of his hand. He's got 3 wrists and 1 belly button attached to his earlobe. Like an antelope, like a deer in the headlights. He will chastise you and give you a haircut. He is the eraser in everyone's school. He's the yard where your grass grows. He'll kill you with his bare hands. He'll kill you with his bare hands.
president's dead. The president's dead. Ding dong, the president's dead. The president's dead.
We saw it coming, you know. There was helicopters flying overhead. We had surveillance outside of the house. We just didn't know. We didn't know why. We didn't know what it'd come down to, you know. But turns out, you know, put a lot of pressure on us. They trashed our equipment, trashed our new magazines. You know, Pierre caught a case. I caught a case. You know, we were marked for death at that point. It was the last thing that we needed, and you know, but it turned out to be, you know, at least we got a pretty good album out of it.
I think it was 2000. Bush just took office. And we just did a show. We go back to the hotel room. And do our thing for a little while. I go to bed. Seth was still up. Next thing you know, the U.S. Marshals come busting in the door, looking for someone who was in the hotel even before we lived there.
Yeah, they, you know, they threw his ass on the ground. Threw my ass on the ground, roughed us up pretty good, scared my cat pretty severely. Looking for Gandhi. I remember looking over at Pierre and I said, "Ghetto's getting smaller, huh?" You know, and we shared a laugh, but it was short-lived because pretty soon we had cops' fingers in our butts, you know, asking us about where this Gandhi is, and we didn't know anything. We still don't know anything. We wish we knew, because if we could find him, you know, we'd probably stick a finger in his butt, just, you know, to get even.
And the next thing I know, I'm in handcuffs on the floor. The cops screaming at me, "Do you know why we're here? Do you know why we're here? A long-going investigation that doesn't include you at this point. Whatever happened to Gandhi? Whatever happened to Gandhi?" And I just kept asking, "Whatever happened to Gandhi? Whatever happened to Gandhi?"
You know, Pierre was pretty shaken up. He looked at me and he, you know, within the next morning he was packed up, and, you know, this was the first of many disappearances on his behalf, you know. But, you know, I was spooked too. It was scary shit. Most of the material in The Ghetto's Getting Smaller was written in early 2000, 2001. We just didn't have a studio at that point. They had confiscated everything. We had trials, we had pre-trials. You know, our life was in a total fucking tailspin at that point. But we kept the material. We knew we'd put it together someday, and we ended up getting it out about 2009, I think, which was not how we usually do it, but I think it really benefited the album in the long run.
My disease was the downfall of different corners. That's when all the jealousy and immaturity embraces the darkness of the devil's beehive. And it overshadows the devil's beehive. You know, Firefly was a #1 hit. It stayed on the charts for like 2-3 weeks. My Disease is still in the top 100 charts. My Disease started with just a simple outline of a song, I guess you could say, Fuck.
My Disease was a song that Pierre wrote for someone he knew who had fallen down that slippery slope, heroin. You know, I think that guy is still alive, the guy who wrote it for him. Probably still has his disease. Probably doesn't even know that that song's about him.
So they,
Well, the religious albums, you know, I did the two, Through Him, With Him, In Him, and That Guy Is In Me.
very special friend.
And really what I was trying to do was just get away from the different corners, you know, audience. I really wanted to lose the audience, and I really, I knew that religious music was a great way to make money. So I did, and I ended up using that money to actually further my projects after that. So I mean, you know, I know some people say it was a bit of a sellout move, but I don't think.
Once the media got a hold of us, it was over, you know. We couldn't even go to the store without anybody knowing who we were. Couldn't go get a pack of cigarettes. So you start to find a relief.
Why the fuck you motherfuckers keep asking the same questions over and over, you know? Did a lot of shit. Not just fucking Firefly, you know? Fuck this, you know, let me spell it out for you. We're gonna do the rest of the interview like this. Alright? Now go ahead with your next question.
You know, the catalog of horrors just thinks they own everything that Pierre has ever done or anything, you know, and that's what the courts will decide, you know. Pierre had as much input as Seth in the early days, and even in the later days.
Well, I didn't approve of it at all, you know, when the Curtis Starr lawyers called me up saying that they own a percentage of Firefly and they wanted to sell it to some science fiction TV show. You know, I said, what are we, the fucking Beatles now? You know, oh come all you faithful. I mean, what the fuck is this? But he did it anyhow. He was able to do it. He owns a percentage, so now that I see these Firefly insignias everywhere, I don't get a piece of that. So I guess it's even Steve and Steve Skrull.
And that's when I took him under my wing, and I said, Pierre, we can do better. We can make you a superstar. Forget about different corners. Forget about Seth. And let's just move on. But he can never drop it.
I am not sure. Again, we're talking about Catalog of Horrors there.
Alright.
I am not with Catalog of Horrors anymore. I am with Curtis Starr Productions now.
was 3 o'clock in the morning, I think. I was sitting in my Trans Am. I remember I was in the shampoo aisle at Joanne Fabrics. I was in Morrison Park with Steve Skrull, and this is back when I had long hair, so, and it had been raining, so I had all this, hair in my face. There's lightning out, and I got my beeper went off, and I went and found a payphone to return the call. One of the Chevy Brook hood rats comes running over to say that, "Have you heard?" So I haven't heard anything. What are you talking about? That's when I got the call from Mimi, and she explained the situation. She said that Pierre was missing, and at first my reaction was, Hood rat says that, Pierre, his plane crashed, and, the body's been burned, and all they found was a jar of molasses and his glasses, It had been a plane crash, and that he was probably washed up on the island if we were lucky, and the Coast Guard is out looking for his body. And I looked at the hood rat and I said, "You must be full of it." Right then and there, I looked at the shampoo, and I thought about how I was going to probably need it for my long hair, to use it on my hair, but, so every time now, even still this day, when I smell shampoo, it fuck me all up, It depends on who you talk to. You can ask a different person who won the Parma Rap Wars, and you get a different answer every time,
He pulls up this webpage, and it's an old village idiot talking about Pierre's dead, and Curtis Starr's a bitch, and
Curtis motherfucking Steve, is you keeping it crazy or keeping it wheezy? Nigga trying to get paid, but nigga, I know you want a kid to the 8th grade, and there ain't no way a dude like you is ever gonna get laid. Shit wrapped in sway, you ain't never recover from the shit storm you made. Slide by and bust your head wide as your girlfriend's pussy. So my nigga, take a seat, cause you know you was a wussy. Your brains on the sidewalk is mushy. My crew ain't down with your labels, so don't you dare get pushy.
The way that Curtis Starr handled the whole death of Pierre was just uncalled for. The whole thing was just too much. The guy doesn't know where to stop when business stop. He don't know when to start eating his cake. You know what I'm saying? He don't even know when to start enjoying life or enjoying death, He's just all business, man. And you know what? That's why I put the rap album out. Because you know what? At that time I owed him a rap album. But you know what? I went ahead and put it out anyhow, I did like my boys Van Halen over here. Over here in the corner, motherfucker.
Sure. That's when I was like, oh, you want to play that way? Okay. So I rounded up the posse and the crew. I set out to destroy him. I think I did a pretty good job.
You want to go to war with me, motherfucker? We can go to war. We go to war all day motherfucking long. Stethoscope Records. Fuck you, motherfucking old Billy G. Oh, I'm saying, I'm a motherfucker. This is out of control. Wildin' out and shit. You know? So I had to throw it down for him. I had to show him what's really up, what's really happening. You know, because the old village crew, coming for you, you know what I'm saying? That's how there was to it, you know? He's coming for you.
You know what it is. You can Chevy and Snow, Chevy and Snow, Chevy and Snow. If you want a war, give me a Chevy and Snow. Are you hanging out late in the streets? Well, I'm in the studio making beats. Ramen noodles, cream of wheats. Now's the intervention, take your seats. Now track marks, from your arm to your knee. You should've never fucked with MCD. Well now, you fucking live case easy. No doubt, you must be crazy. One phone call and I'll call Case Dizzle. You know he's got that good shit for Rizzo. You thought you'd be the one to outdo K-Star. But I'm blowing away by far, there won't be caviar. Don't you know you're fucking with the CSB clip?
It was a hard thing to swallow, you know, talking about, you know, I'm a bitch and I should die. And
Crazy. I had Curtis Starr coming at me with his whole crew, telling me that I need to sign with his label, you know, and I wasn't even looking to sign with the label, you know. I wanted to do street style, just fucking put it out like on a mixtape, man, on a boombox, you know. But he coming at me like a motherfucking wild man, like it's Wild Wild Wayne in the Wild Wild West, you know. I ain't got no time for that motherfucking shit, so I told him, you know, just settle this with a rap war, you know, like real fucking street gangsters. We'll have a fucking rap war, and I, you know, I think I threw a pretty hard punch. You know, and then the rap war breaks out. MCP's all over the television on all the daytime talk shows. I got them all DVR'd. I'm sitting there watching this guy act like he's not Pierre, act like he's not Pierre who's missing.
Yeah, I got my motherfucking wife beat a wrapped around my head, nigga. How we do it up in this motherfucking bitch.
You know, there was talk he was going to get his own talk show. I think that most of all MCP's just pretty much out for himself. You know, he's just out to make a dollar, a quick dollar. And he'll use anybody's name, including my name, you know, to make that dollar. Yeah, I heard all his stuff. I heard that. You know? And I give it up to him. It was good. It was alright. You know? But I don't appreciate, to this day, a lot of sentiments. You know? You know? He treated me like a kid wearing a retainer. And I don't wear no motherfucking retainer. Alright? I never even wore motherfucking bracelets. Oh, I knew it was Pierre the whole time, man. I knew it was Pierre the whole time. I mean, number one, I grew up with the nigga. I recorded with the nigga. I did his fucking sound engineering, making his beats and everything for so long. I knew that sound, alright? I knew the sound of his voice. And he knew a little bit too much, even though most of what he said, it was a lie. He knew a little bit too much about my life, you know, and it didn't surprise me when he made his revelation, you know. No one cared about his revelation. I read it in the paper just like everybody else did. And I was able to say, look, I've been saying this shit from the start. Feel alive, right here on a motherfucking island, he's a rapper. And he put out fucking rap albums, dissing me and my family. Pushing my grandmother.
I was pissed. I mean, double vision, I mean, do I really look like Curtis Starr?
Coming up
you know, and the first MCP album, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the shit, man. And I used all my experiences with all that, wrapped it all up in a big ball, and, you know, that was Palmer Fool. You know what I'm saying? MCP.
Palmer Rap Wars is something that we don't even like to discuss anymore. There's a truce and we don't talk about it. But you know what, man? You know, I don't want to say nothing, but I got a feeling that if there were another rap war will break out, you know, things wouldn't go so nice. I don't think I'd be so nice about it. But anyhow, you know, moving on, we're moving forward, you know. We're trying to put that behind us. It's not the best thing to even be talking about in the form of an interview or anything like that, you know. People's going to get in trouble. People's is hurting their feelings. People's just going to get their feelings hurt, you know.
Disappearing in a crash, but still raking in the cash. Can you hear me?
When I heard about the Tear Relief Fund, it really made me mad. You know, I never saw the money. It didn't go for any of my hospital bills. It never paid me for playing my songs that I wrote. It just a big shitball on me. You know, where's my peer relief? Where's my money? Didn't relieve me any. I'm still struggling. I'm still in the ghetto. And the ghetto ain't getting smaller, it's getting bigger. You know, the peer relief, that will be settled in court. You know, Pierre didn't really receive no relief. You know, he's still in the ghetto. He did not profit from this. And it will be settled in court. Matter of fact, I never got paid for doing the Peer Relief Fund. You know, not that I expected to get paid because it was all supposed to go to charity, but if you can go to charity, then I should be paid for my work. You know, I was out on the stage, played my songs for Pierre, and, you know, that money was supposed to go to Pierre to help him with all his legal fees.
Yeah, I think what Curtis Starr didn't understand was that, you know, Pierre Relief, I think Curtis Starr started to think it was the Curtis Starr Relief or the Curtis Starr Show, the Curtis Starr Extravaganza. So we cut him from most of the broadcasts. The Japanese broadcast, we kept it intact, but we cut him out. You know, I expect to hear from Clayton Angelo, his attorney. I know he's been talking in interviews saying that he wants to get paid, but what am I going to pay him for, you know? I think whatever happens is between me and Pierre as far as where the money goes, and, you know, I was deceived anyhow. You know, Pierre was probably just chilling up in Curtis Starr's crib the entire time, you know, and I thought he was on a fucking island, living with fucking savages, eating frogs, you know, pretending frogs are bacon, you know, making a jerk out of me, really.
It was 2009, and I finally made it back from the island. Long time since I've seen anything that remotely resembled civilization.
I believe the Different Corners Anthology has some of those dreadful demos on there that I tried to have not included, but someone who drinks too much and pretended like he was dead for 4 years and then didn't tell me and then just popped up and he's homies with Curtis Starr and his goddamn record contracts, that you can't get out of.
Why the fuck would you even ask me a question like that, man? No, really, no, seriously, now you got my grills all pearly. Alright, listen to me. Why the fuck would you even ask me a question like that, man? No, really, motherfucker. Really. Ask it again. Ask again.
You know, obviously, I'm doing a lot better. Obviously, you know, ever since I won the lawsuit, I live in this nice, you know, nice neighborhood back here. Here's in the ghetto. Unfortunately, I've tried to reach out to him, try to get him to, you know, get on board with the program, but he's still very stubborn. Obviously, I'm sorry that he's in the ghetto, but it was a nasty lawsuit, you know? What can I do? What can I say? Yeah, well, Pierre's made a lot of, you know, different corners, spin-offs, I call them. You know, it's like when all the families spin off into fucking Jeffersons, you know? He's got Velvet Corners, different Velvet, you know, and the whole MCP thing, the Rap Wars, Parma Rap Wars. God rest their souls. Rest in peace. You know, I think he had the Chicken Brothers, which was a spin-off of the Refrigerator Brothers. But I'm completely retired from music right now. I'm doing mostly pinball machine repair, some finished carpentry, a little bit of lawn work, basically making ends meet, you know. Probably going to be doing some stuff on Set the Scope Records, releasing some bands if I can find any worth of shit. I don't know, heard about Brokeback Corners, they sound pretty good. We'll see what happens.
Well, it was a concept album with no concept. More like an Old West. We wanted it to be like an American, real American classic. You know, kind of like Magnitude cigarettes. They never go out of style. So, just going back to our train hopping roots, we wanted to, you know, explore the country through song and sound. And, you know, it just ended up being cowboys versus Indians most of the time, you know. I'm probably the Indian, you know. Depends on who you ask, I guess.
Like a communication breakdown, because we were both trying to produce the best album we could, but when you are on different pages of the book and the script, it's easy to get confused. Just like with everything else in life, when you misplace your bow tie, you're just fucked. I was playing A&E. Road. The band is Road. The band is Road. There's no more living. No more freedom. All you have is structure.
Got a piece of mail today I wasn't expecting. Got Pierre and Curtis Starr's lawyers asking me about the rights to Thick as Thieves. Apparently they want to use Ride Away in some upcoming Western. And, you know, I've got the tapes in the vault, and they're going to stay in the vault, you know. I guess it's time to lawyer up again. Never ends with this band, I'll tell you. I'm going to try to call him, try to talk to Pierre, talk some sense into him. Maybe we can work something out, but drama never stops with different corners.
After Thick as Thieves, we never spoke to each other again. And it's one of those things I regret. And you know, with him passing just a couple months ago, something I never got to apologize for. One of those regrets I'll just take to the grave with me. You know, I've lived a long time, and different corners, best time of my life. They say it all began here. Morrison Park. A time when freedom rang free to overcome the odds of the unknown soldier. Where Natalie Smolin kissed Pierre. A lot of memories made here in Morrison Park.
seen spiders in a garbage can, strangling children with my left hand. You can count to 14, I can count to 3. We are different corners.
It was my idea to fake the death of Pierre. I think it's time that people know. And to his family and his friends, I apologize. Just trying to get out of the ghetto. One day at a time.